All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen, this is Colts Law, and we are at Westfield. Training camp, day one. Loyalist, you want to join?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be sitting here talking about, this is just the intro. As you can see, we got Colt City behind us. We got the field. It's a great day, beautiful Wednesday morning. A few things that we're actually going to be sitting here looking at. Why don't you tell me a few things that you're hoping that you might be able to see today?
I can't wait to just see the guys on the field, see Carson Wentz let the ball rip a little bit. I'm really curious to see how Jacob Eason looks out here today. You?
Oh yeah, Jacob Eason's one of those guys that I would love to see exactly what he looks like, period. Because we didn't get to see him at all last year, right? Obviously, we got Marlon Mack on a full go. We got Paris Campbell on a full go. We got Kimiko Toure on a full go. That's some other things that we're actually looking forward to. You can see guys walking around behind us getting ready to come in and check this out. A lot of high spirits here today. And we will be back in about, I don't know, probably 3 hours, whatever. Right afterwards, we'll give you our takes, bring in some guys, general fans that come here to watch, see what their expectations were, if they were fulfilled, how they thought of the camp, and just the fact that we're able to be here after last year not having any kind of open training camp at all for any fans, due to COVID. So I'm Lawrence Owen. I will be back in just a little bit. Obviously, it won't be long for you because I can edit this afterwards. But yeah, we'll see what happens right after this. All right, so as you can see, I didn't go right back afterwards. And as you can see, I got a little bit of sun. So the sun came out, Loyalist. How was your day today at camp?
My day was awesome. It's the first time I've got to enjoy the whole experience at Grand Park. And I'll tell you what, it did not fall short at all. We get there, you could see with the recording that the weather was perfect. Sun was tucked away for everybody, And in about 10 minutes before the guys got out on the field, the sun just started beating down. And it wasn't bad at first. After about hour and 15 minutes of it or whatever, the humidity, it was like, but I'll tell you what, it was well worth it. Got to see a lot of cool things and got to spend it with my son and you, so it was a good day.
Oh, I enjoyed it completely, man. Got to see a lot of stuff that I wanted to see, right? We talked about Eason. We wanted to see Eason. We wanted to see Paris and Marlon and Kimoko, now that they're, full goes and things like that. Rock had himself a nice little day today. Carson did not look as good as I thought he was going to look. I mean, he looked okay. It wasn't great. He was a little rough early on, especially on the 11-on-11s. Jacob Eason looked fantastic.
Yeah,
Jacob Eason.
After his first couple throws, he really started to dial it in, and I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, he dropped a dime. I'll tell you what, Jonathan Taylor looked good today, too. Jonathan Taylor looked like he was a man on a mission. I thought he was playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars out there. It was ridiculous. They were out there doing little drills, running back drills, quarterbacks, throwing them out on routes against a defender, one-on-one. And he burnt his guy so bad. And Eason dropped that ball just right on the tip of his hands as he was sprinting. That was a touchdown. It was a 40-yard, dropped on a dime. He caught it and gone. It was beautiful.
Yeah, my son, he watched that, and I remember he was like, that looked cool. And I said, yeah, and that's from the running back who can't catch.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Marlon Mack looked like he had his juice in today. They were doing some regular running back drills, and his lateral agility does not seem to be affected whatsoever. I was watching him do the in and out cuts with the bumpers, and he was doing those better than all the other guys out there. Obviously, all the other guys is not including Naheem Hines because he was out with a hip. But hopefully he'll be back, in the next few days. Let's see some other things of note. Anything else?
Seeing Kamoko Toure get out there and he didn't have that. It didn't appear, at least what I saw today. He didn't have that hitch or that that labored takeoff. He really did look explosive. It was good seeing him just doing stretches and seeing the flexibility and the range of motion that he had in that. I was like, okay, that's a good start. I'm not expecting to see a lot, from him during this time, get pads and start getting in contact. That's when I'm really going to keep a closer eye. But it was just nice seeing him, like I said, out there and stretching and looking like that, there wasn't a whole lot of range of motion lost or anything.
No, actually, before it started, they were lining up to do their team stretches, and he was out there just dancing, enjoying them. He was the only one out there dancing at least on the defensive side, and he was just going to it, boy. He was ready for a big day. Buckner was right in front of us. Big guy. Oh, my goodness, you don't realize how big DeForest Buckner is until you see him in person, and you're like, that's a giant.
Yeah.
That is a giant. Yeah. You see Quentin Nelson, you're like, he's a wide man. DeForest Buckner is just a big dude. And not just a big dude, but so nice. So many fans were yelling for him. He's obviously a fan favorite on this team, and he's only been here a year, but the way he approaches the game, how he commits himself to the game, his reaction with the fans, it's really cemented himself as a fan favorite here in Indianapolis and, worldwide, those of you that are Colts fans that don't live in and around the Indiana area. But yeah, they were calling out his name. He was turning around. I even think he came to you, you yelled out his name and he turned around and said, hey, thanks. Buckner's a great guy. Other people of note, people that showed up a little early. We saw Will Fries out early, right? He was out there doing his stretches early on.
Got to watch the kickers and punters out there. And it was nice to see that the accuracy was, for both Eddie and for Rigo was, they were dialed in as far as hitting. They weren't really ripping it or anything, but I think they got out to the 45. I think is where but I don't think there was but maybe one or two misses the whole day, for that first 20 minutes or whatever it was they were out there before everybody got out.
Well, you figure he's kicking from the 45-yard line, and he was nailing it, and it was going through both uprights. So I don't know if you've ever been to Grand Park. I'm not talking to Loyalists. I'm talking to you guys out there. If you haven't, it's two fields back-to-back separated by about 10 yards. So you figure you got two goalposts 10 yards apart, and he was drilling through the backside goalpost. So if you figure it was 45 yards, add another 10. So he was drilling 55-yard field goals. All right?
Yeah.
That, to me, was impressive.
With these, by the way. With ease.
Yes, with ease. With very much. Him and Luke seemed to be Luke Rhodes seemed to be on a really good sync already early on. Man, Luke, when he hikes that ball, it is such a tight spiral when it comes to Sanchez. Oh my goodness. It's in the exact same spot on a tight spiral every time. And if it wasn't in the exact same spot every time, I don't think Sanchez could catch it because that ball comes out there fast. He launches. Okay, so if you haven't seen a picture of Luke Rhodes, he looks like an MMA fighter. All right, he is built. You know, he is a cut dude. And I think he puts every bit of leverage and strength he has in the hiking that football. And if Sanchez missed it, it'd probably get stuck in his grill of his face mask, right? I mean, but he puts it in the exact same spot, so Sanchez just has to have his hands right in that same spot every time.
Because if I remember right, we signed him on as a draft. I can't remember, but he was a linebacker that they converted to a long snapper, right? Isn't that how that worked out for Rhodes?
To be fair, I don't know. I didn't
I'm
get
pretty
that
sure,
deep
like,
into him.
Yeah, like I said, because I'm pretty sure he came in and like I said, his first year out, they were like, hey, we want to try you out at the long snapper deal. And like you said, I think it's third or fourth year at long snapping, and he's he's solid, and that's really all you want. And he's not just a snapper, you know what I mean? Even after he lets that baby rip, he's mobilizing down the field, and he's a big man coming your way.
Yeah, Luke, if you're watching this, I don't expect you to, but if you're watching this, man, hit me up. I got social media and stuff and these Twitters and stuff, or leave a comment and let me know your history on how you got to be with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm sure I could Google it, but I'd rather hear it from your words. Speaking of your words, another guy that was out there early today was T.Y. Hilton. And a lot of people was yelling at him, but this was a very odd day today. T.Y. was not as fan-friendly as you normally see him. Now, granted, you have the COVID protocols, but I think he kind of reached back and waved only a couple times. But he didn't do it while he was doing his practices. He was doing the short route, high percentage snap catches early on, and he wasn't dropping. He was catching, tucking, going. Looked really good. Looked like Ty that you expect, but it makes you wonder. He's working on these little short hitch routes a lot in training camp. People expected Ty to be, a majority deep threat this year with Carson Wentz. I'm thinking Ty might be more that possession guy, short yardage, pick up the first down, move the chains guy this year, possibly. Because, he does have the veteran savvy. He knows how to run his routes and, knows how to get open in those little short and intermediate routes. So what are your thoughts on Ty today?
I don't know. Like at the beginning of practice, you see him and he's just sort of off on his own, and he's over on one side of the field where the whole team's over here, and it's him and Paris and Marlon Mack, and they're just sort of, I don't know, it was like an extended stretch, or maybe it looked like he might have been sort of not stressing hamstring, or I'm not saying that's what it was, but maybe there's something that's just giving him a little bit of problems. But like you said, he just seemed like he was trying to focus and stretch on a certain part of his leg or something, and then the whole, I don't know what the grand part experience is, as far as Ty and how interactive he is normally and stuff, because like I said, this was my first time. But he seemed, like you said, everything as far as when you watch him in 11-11s and stuff, he seemed like he was really locked in. I hope he's a deep threat. Yes, I like Ty in that role. And he's become accustomed with our last two quarterbacks of being that move the chains guy. But man, I just like the thought of him stretching that field, him and Paris stretching that field. But like we've said, all summer long, those guys can interchange in that role this year. So yeah, if that, one thing we can say about Ty is whatever the team needs him to do, he will be the guy to do it, and he'll do it really well.
Absolutely. Guys, so we're, I don't know, going on 15 minutes inside of this stream, and this is a Patreon-only stream, but I see no patrons. I have no one in here, so obviously you guys are going to be watching afterwards. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post this tomorrow evening. I'm going to make it public But until tomorrow, all of you guys on Patreon, you have first dibs at this watching this video. And if you want first dibs on videos from me, from training camp, because I'm going back Saturday, right? And maybe other days as well. You want first dibs? You want part of this whole experience with me? Very simple. Go to patreon.com/ColtsLaw and sign up. Be a patron, a supporter. It's only $5 a month. And the link is in the description of the video. Don't forget, check out Newsbreak. Loyalist and I upload videos to Newsbreak all the time. And we have Newsbreak specific only videos that we upload, as a matter of fact. So go check that out. All you got to do is download the app and follow me, and you'll be supporting us. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app used over 1.5 billion times a month by people just like you to get local news via articles or videos by those who are focused on that specific area. People like myself. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. Don't forget, as you're watching this, whether you're a patron, whether you're watching this later on the replay, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live. I'm not going to play my merchandise video. You know where the link is. Go check it out. I got lots of cool stuff. As a matter of fact, dude, we were talking about the heat today. Oh my goodness. As you can see, I got some sun. All right. And I'm sorry. That's one of the reasons why I didn't get to do hang out and do a secondary video afterwards and talk to fans and stuff. I really intended on doing that, but I was feeling it. Okay. I ain't been in the sun in like a couple years because I've been a third shifter for a while, and I got that sun and I just wasn't feeling well at all. Came home, went to bed. I appreciate Loyalist for being the sport he was, picking me up halfway. And then, so I didn't have to drive. I'm really glad I didn't have to drive that whole way home. So, man, thank you.
That AC is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. See, I don't have AC in my truck. So,
Yeah.
that I don't know, 25-mile drive home was kind of rough. But yeah, I had a lot of fun though at camp. I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun, coming up. It was so weird. As soon as we got to the bleachers, Loyalist, what happened?
The sun?
Well, no, I mean, we sat down. We didn't even we sat down, and the guy next to us was talking to, and he was asking us questions, and then next thing you know, from then on, it was just, I ended up taking pictures with a bunch of people. I think I took 5 pictures that day. I think 3 of them with you sitting there, right?
Yeah.
At the bleachers as people was walking by. The guy next to us, amazing. I get noticed. I didn't think I would, Even you got noticed, which was really cool. Yeah, it's great. If you guys are there Saturday, look out for us. I don't know. I think you'll be there, right, Saturday?
Yep.
Maybe? Okay, so if you're there Saturday, keep an eye out for us. I'm pretty sure that Cody Felger will be there as well. There'll be a few people there, I believe, Saturday. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. A lot of us will be out there. I got to reconnect with a few of the guys that I've had on the show, like Kevin Bowen, like Kent Sterling, and other people. Even did an interview with oh my goodness, what was his name? WTHR Sports.
Oh, Dave Calabro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dave Calabro. Dave Calabro pulled me off to the side, and we talked for a while on camera, with his camera there. So that was kind of cool. I don't know if it'll be on TV. I doubt it. If it is, let me know. Send me a link, but I doubt it. But
and I'll tell you what, guys, that Cold City, I mean, my son and got to take him today, and they had some really cool stuff there. That I mean, it's a lot of fun. And my son, it was sort of cool because he's like into football, but he's not into football. I think sometimes he just does it so he gets to hang out with his old man or whatever. But after today, it was interesting because now he's like, hey, Saturday, are we going Saturday? And man, I'm like, okay, I like this.
Are we going to do a meetup
I
the
just had
same
to
way?
wait 2 years to be able to get him in front of them.
Are we going to do a meetup the same way we did last time?
Yeah, that works for me. I say, got to check with the boss.
Okay.
To see
Okay.
if she's wanting to go and so on and so forth. But yeah,
All right. That'd be cool. Hopefully it's not. I was told it's not supposed to be nearly as hot Saturday, so that'd be great. It's supposed to be in the 70s and not, baking me like a fish in the oven. But yeah, we had I haven't seen that many Colts jerseys in one area in a long time.
it felt good, didn't it?
It was
I mean,
a
it's like when
sea of
Carson
blue.
Wentz,
Yeah.
when Carson Wentz come out of the little walkway area and stuff. I just loved hearing everybody start whistling and clapping and stuff. And it was like, there you go. There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was going on. And I looked over there and I was like, oh, okay. Because I was still watching the kickers and punters.
Couple more things of note. Sam Ellinger. The kid has no arm strength. He's not terribly disaccurate, but it's kind of like watching Phillip Rivers throw the football, right? It takes about, I don't know, 14, 15 minutes for the ball to get to its destination. Because, it's a nice long arc. It's not terribly disaccurate. It just not always got the most zip on the ball.
Yeah.
What I saw with Eason, though, he could throw with touch. He reminds me of Luck. It looks like he's throwing it with touch, and the ball still has juice on it at the same time. In that aspect of ball delivery. I don't think the Colts have had an arm talent like Eason since Luck. Or like Luck. Eason and Luck are very similar in arm talent when it comes to that. From what I was gathering. I'm not saying that he's Andrew Luck. I'm not saying he has the ability to escape and throw on the run and create, magic the way Andrew Luck did. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying his arm is absolutely beautiful. All right.
And I'll say, you always hear people sit there and say, oh, the ball just explodes off his hands. And I've always thought, yeah, okay, and then they compare, Dan Marino to Aaron Rodgers or something, But no, I'll tell you what, watching Eason throw the ball and watching Sam throw the ball, that is when that saying really stood out to me, because like you said, the ball it left with a different velocity. It left with a tight, just everything about the way that ball left his hand. I know, don't get too hyped day one. I know, but it's been 2 years. I'm going to get a little hyped. Like Carson said later in the interviews, he said he thought that he was just a little too juiced up today. And that's that. He knew, and it's day one. It'll come in.
I didn't get to see the interviews because I was sleeping. But my own takes on Carson today, he was off. His first throw in team drills, 11 on 11s, was to a running back, and it was behind him and in the dirt. It was not a good throw at all. He threw another one that was over the middle, behind and too high for a tight end. Whereas Eason looked on point today. Not only did he have that beautiful throw to Jonathan Taylor, but he threw a ball to Paris Campbell over the middle, and it was perfect, on time, right on the money, right as Paris was moving too, and he caught that ball and it was a touchdown. It was beautiful. I try not to get too hyped up over training camp, especially day one, right? Yeah. Day one. But the signs look good for Eason, okay?
Everything that you hope to see on a day one, I think we saw. you know, and everything that you sort of expect to see, like you said, with not the sharpest of performance and stuff. Yeah, we saw that, and it, you know, what I mean, nobody's hiding it, nobody, you know, what I mean, so it wasn't like, oh, there's any major concern. But, you know, there was something that I found interesting today, and that was when I was watching the linemen, you know, and stuff. I noticed Will Holden was getting a lot of first round or first team reps and stuff today. I know, once again, week one, but you know, I mean, he was getting the majority of the first round reps today, and then Sam Tebby was running with the twos, and you know, and is that just mixing people around? You know, I mean, because Marcus, I mean, all the coaches were working together, but today was like Marcus's day. You know, the offense was, he was sort of coordinating a lot of that, and I just wonder if that was just he just wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, and matter of fact, speaking of Marcus, we saw that a lot of his personal touch come into play today in a lot of the offensive plays that were happening. There was a lot of RPOs. There was even, I think, a wildcat formation that was put out there today. At least it looked like it from my end. I didn't have a great view at that point when that, because I was overlooking at the defense secondary running, but it looked like there was a wildcat formation that happened. So that's interesting. I honestly believe there's going to be some really interesting twists that the Colts have not seen in an offense this year. I'm not going to say it's going to be, you know, a majority of the snaps or even a lot. You might only see, you know, one or two of those kind of snaps a game, but it's something that was not necessarily in the arsenal last year. So that's going to be fun. And like I said, with Eason, or not with Eason, but with Wentz, don't let his rough start, you know, get you down. It's day one. He was hyped. Never been to a training camp where there's fans allowed, let alone Colts fans. And, you know, he had to react with that. So, you know, that's something new. And then, you know, Grand Park and all that, you know, it's a whole new experience for him as well. So we'll give him a couple days.
But Saturday, it better be there.
It better be there. As for Will Holden, I noticed that in 2019, you would see when there was competition at a specific spot, you would see guys flip-flop a lot on who was getting a lot of snaps and who wasn't, right? So that's interesting.
Yeah, you remember when we first drafted Braden? I mean, you know, even though we drafted him as a guard, he was moving around, and thank goodness he was, because, you know, look how that all panned out.
Right. Well, we'll have a video for that later.
Yeah. You know, something else I was thinking about is, you know, because you'd mentioned on it earlier, and this guy's taken quite a bit of heat even from the the Colts fan base and stuff. But that's Rock Ya-Sin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, he had a fairly decent showing today. And the thing is, you know, we have the three players, Al-Qadim Muhammad, T.J. Carey, and Xavier Rhodes, that were all in the protocol for the COVID-19, you know, contact and stuff. And, you know, I was thinking, man, that stinks being the first day. But, you know, I'm not wishing illness on anybody. That's not what I'm saying with this. But if you're going to have a position that's going to, you know, I mean, these guys are at least T.J. Carey and Xavier Rhodes, they're veterans. They're familiar with the system from last year. So now we're getting a lot more run with the Marvell Tells and the Rock Ya-Sins and the Isaiah Rodgers and stuff. And that was sort of cool to see, because I didn't expect to see that today. You know what I mean? Like I said, when we got there, about 7:45 or whatever, and we weren't even aware that Xavier Rhodes and them were in the protocol, or at least I wasn't. You know, so you know, going out there and seeing them younger guys and stuff and running with the ones and stuff, that was cool. That was a nice little surprise I didn't expect to see.
We did see, before I get off here, I do want to say I liked what I saw from Marlon Mack as well. We talked about his side-to-side agility already, but he also had a really, really good catch on a ball that was thrown well behind him and low, like behind his hip, and he was covered very tightly. And he reached around, staying in stride, reached back and down, caught the football, and brought it up to his chest and turned up field with it.
And he did not decelerate. That was, like you said, he did not break stride at all. That was a beautiful catch.
Yeah. The running backs may be looking at a lot of time this year because it looks like we got a lot of talent at running back, and we could see a lot of different kind of formations. I've been saying it a long time. I want to see more 2 running back formations, and I would not be surprised if we had a 2 tight end, 3 running back formation, right? A 23. Everyone says, well, we can run a 32, because 3 tight ends, 2 running backs. I want to see a 23. That'd be interesting as heck. 2 tight ends, 3 running backs. We got the people to do it.
And a mobile quarterback.
And a mobile quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And
pick your poison.
Yeah, that's Wildcat formation all day. All right. I think we're going to end it. We're about 31 minutes in. Like I said, I'm not going to play any more. Well, I will play my ending video, but any final thoughts, Loyalist?
Like I said, guys, if you get a chance, it's a really nice place to go and check it out. And as always, you know how the Colts are. They do things at a real high level, and I'll tell you now, it's a good time. You guys ought to get out there if you can check it out.
All right. Well, thanks again. Please don't forget, hit subscribe, tag that notification bell, smash that like button. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. This is Colts Law. We were discussing day 1 Colts training camp. Woo, what a day. Have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.